The following stream contains mature language and themes. Subjects that may be disturbing to some individuals will arise. Viewer discretion is advised.
Why do they always make the dead say brains? But that's not what they say. I've met overs and it didn't care about the brains. That's not what.
Well, good evening. So you've come to talk with your boy Twitch yet again. I've been hearing odd things on the south side of Chicago. It seems a Shanky's pizza delivery driver ran over one of my Twitch snitches. And the rotten bastard didn't even deliver the pizza to him. I say, you can't get good delivery anymore. It's not like, well, no, there was no delivery in the old days. You just don't get good service, I tell you. And it also seems, around the same time, a pillar of the community was brutally murdered. And they think it was his 84-year-old wife who did it. You know, funny thing about Kine, they never can seem to see and realize what's really happening around them. They walk in such a haze of nothing. It's it's great. It's your boy Twitch. And we'll be talking.
and then we got to the farmhouse and we hid in the farmhouse because they were so slow, but they kept breaking in.
Good evening and welcome to the Onyx Path Twitch channel. We're the Haunted Chronicles crew here to bring you Stuffed this evening. I am Tam and I will be your storyteller, and these are the players at the table.
I'm Universal Solvent and I'll be playing Anthony Reed.
I'm Zem, I play Alexander Bilkins.
I'm Cirque Defender and I'll be playing Penelope Schmaltz.
I'm Evie Eternal, and I'll be playing Rebecca Theron.
I'm Grundy, and I'll be playing Eddie Stevens.
I'm Moira. I'll be playing Harley Phillips.
One announcement for this evening. Well, two actually. Tomorrow on McStabber Studios at this same time slot, we will have the return of Haunted Chronicles: The Black Death. And for anyone who's interested in joining, we will have a $50 gift card giveaway to Drive Through RPG as well, to thank everybody for helping us achieve 100 subscribers on YouTube. And then on Saturday, there is a Blades in the Dark run by Tiss, who is an outstanding DM. So I don't know what time that is. I think it's at 3 p.m. Eastern. So check out the Discord if you want. Where we left off last week, we'd introduced our characters. Eddie'd run over a poor homeless guy and promised him pizza but never brought it. and Mr. Hemaker was brutally murdered, and his wife was taken to the hospital unresponsive. Detective Ryland teamed up with Officer Theron, and they went around trying to gather information as much as they could. And it turns out that she and a couple of other people may have been complicit in delivering the murder weapon to the house. We're going to pick up a few hours after we left off. Eddie came back with some donuts and delivered them to people. Anthony went in to talk to his dad and let him know that he would be going in to make a statement what was going on. Penelope was headed back to her room, where she had discovered that her teddy bear was missing, and in place was the panda bear that she had received as a gift from the owner of the local pawn store. You are going to send something out on your computer, I believe?
Yes, she would write out a post in her kind of community. It's her like her like YouTube community essentially. A lot of the new followers from the previous video she uploaded are kind of they want to be detectives, crime solvers, and theorizers. So, and a lot of them are from the local area. So she's just asking if anyone was around that street. Not giving away any information, but just saying if you saw anything weird or heard anything strange, to come forward, and she'll leave like an email for them to contact.
All right. This sounds like something that's kind of going to be an extended action. You're putting information out there and you're looking to get a response over time. And looking at it and your skills, knowing that you're doing computer stuff and you are an online personality, this sounds a little bit like a social skill, persuasion maybe.
Yep.
And using your presence along with it.
Yep.
So
May
I'd like
I use
for
my
you to
contacts?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
And this is going to be an extended situation. I have a target in mind for what kind of responses you're going to get. But let's go ahead and roll and see what this first roll comes out as.
You get 2 10s in a row. Do you roll again?
Yes, absolutely. Reroll your exploders.
3.
So 3 successes total?
Mm-hmm.
All right. The message goes out, and maybe it's the time of day, maybe it's the fact that everybody just started their Christmas holiday. There's not a lot of response. You're not seeing much people reading or anything, but it's early. You're used to getting a pretty fast response when you post something, but there's no video along with it, so maybe that's why. And we'll come back to it. Mr. Bilkins, you were headed to the gym. I assume you were. How long would you be at the gym with your normal workout?
I don't think I would be going to the gym anymore. I think I would be following Anthony Reed home. Make sure his father is getting all the information about the investigation and try to advise them to not speak to the police without a lawyer. And he's probably not going to go to the gym today, if we're being honest. Yeah.
All right. Took the gym right out of you. Harley, what are you up to?
Harley was going to check on Penelope and make sure that she was okay and kind of mentally prep her before going to the morgue, since she knows that'll probably be a traumatizing experience. Mm-hmm. So she's being a emotional sidekick, but also making sure that Penelope doesn't do anything that would get her in trouble with the law.
Okay. Well, she's back in her room. Do you follow her? Try to follow her back, or?
I would probably. Is Eddie still there with donuts? I imagine if Eddie's still there, then we'd just be awkwardly sitting on the couch waiting for her to return.
Eddie, are you sitting awkwardly, enjoying donuts and watching as Miss
Yeah.
Smalls?
He's brought his donuts. He was, he brought the usual glazed, chocolate frosted, powdered, jelly filled. Then he brought
Yes.
maple bacon long john, which people found too suspect, so he's eating that himself.
The storyteller would like to say that is an efficient bribe for him, just to let you know, for future reference. So, all right. Well, you watch as Mr. and Mrs. Smalls kind of mill around. Mrs. Smalls coming in and out constantly with a different outfit on each time, trying to figure out what's appropriate for the hospital. Mr. Smalls comes out a little bit later wearing a nice suit. I mean, he put on a nice standard black suit. I mean, he's going to see somebody's body that's family and friend. And time moves on, and Rebecca, it's about time to be taking them to view the body. And probably taking Mr. Reed with you as well so he can make his statement. It'd be a good opportune way to do that.
I had intended it. After waiting, I guess, for probably an hour on Penelope to get ready, I would try and accost Mr. or Mrs. Schmalls. Excuse me. Is everyone ready to go? We don't have. I mean, we do, I suppose, have all day, but.
Mm. And Mr. Smalls just kind of nods. And Penelope, come on, let's go. Are you going with us, Miss Phillips?
Oh, I'd hope to. They had asked me to come make a statement. I saw a suspicious figure on the bus that I thought might be potential suspect. And Eddie, were you interested in coming as well?
Yeah, I think I would like to come.
Okay.
Got a little bit of a statement to give about my encounter with Mr. Hemmicker.
That's fine. Harley, right?
Yes.
Can you and Eddie ride in a separate car? I don't have enough room for everyone in my own squad car. So.
I don't have a car, but I do have. Oh, okay.
It's no problem.
Of course. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate that, and we'll get down to the hospital and then get this done, and then we'll go down to the station and get everyone's statements. Okay?
Yes. Sure. I was riding with a coworker on the bus whenever we were encountered by that man. Would it be of interest to get his statement as well? His name is Mr. Bilkins.
Yeah, he had spoken with us earlier with Mr. Reed. So yes, that would be agreeable, I think. Yeah.
Okay. I'll see if I can get in touch.
Okay, thank
you.
And
all this time, Mrs. Smalls is standing there looking at the group in the room, just with her purse in her hands and her mouth hanging open, just, well, I guess that means I have to take the bus.
Well, I'm assuming you're a couple, right? Mr. and Mrs. Smalls. Do you have a car? We'll have to figure out car arrangements, obviously.
I don't drive, thank you very much.
Mom, I can ride with Eddie and Harley and Mr. Bilkins and whoever is in this car as well, if they don't mind.
How many seats
Eddie
does your...
now, is it?
I can fit a total of 5 in my car. Sorry.
Oh, I see the problems.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can fit about 5 people with a little bit of squeeze in the back.
Oh, I don't mind.
And I'll have to go get Mr. Reed, presuming his father is not putting him through the ringer right now. So we'll deal with that in just a moment. Mr. and Mrs. Smalls, can you please get Penelope ready to leave?
I'm ready.
Oh.
I'm good.
Oh, good, perfect. Okay, so let me go deal with Mr. Reed. I will be right back, and we will leave. Okay?
Okay, should we just stay here? Or do you want us
Yes.
to go get into... Okay,
Or you can get into your cars and wait. It really doesn't matter.
okay.
All right, thank you. And Rebecca will stand up and head out the front door towards Mr. Anthony Reed's house.
It's right next door
Which
in the
is
apartment
right next
complex,
door.
So, yep.
Mhm.
I want to ask: is anyone going to contact Mr. Bilkins? Are you taking him with you, or what is your plan?
I would try to contact him through school email because that's the only form of contact that I know of his because he refuses to give me his phone number.
I will just be lining my bag with kitchen roll and putting the donuts in there for road snacks.
I'm going to
Very
be running
practical.
over to my car and frantically trying to clean it up enough for people to sit inside.
Does that include the blood stain off the front corner?
Is that a thing?
Just
Is there-
joking.
Okay,
Just
okay, okay. That's an issue.
Just joking. Just joking. All right. I will leave it to Mr. Bilkins if he gets his email. He seems like the kind of guy who might actually check it on his phone once in a while, but
So I should be at Anthony Reed's house also.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
Yeah.
I
So,
forgot.
yeah,
I forgot you were shepherding over him. So.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm his teacher. I'm making sure he's all right.
So inside the house is well, I'm going to let Anthony describe what his father looks like.
Well, he's not terribly tall. He's got a bit of a beer gut to him now. He was clearly once very in shape, and he's a bit disheveled. He doesn't keep up shaving his beard and trimming his hair anymore. The inside of the house is pretty dirty. Lots of electronics strewn about in various states of being taken apart. And he tends to run around the house in fresh pressed tidy whities and undershirt.
And he definitely eyes Mr. Bilkins rather warily.
Father, this is Mr. Bilkins. He's my U.S. history, U.S. government teacher. He's been helping with what's going on outside. So
Yes, Mr. Reed, your young Tony here seems to have found himself at the center of some sort of investigation. I thought you should know about it. It seems that he is currently the prime suspect of this investigation. Is that right, Tony?
that wasn't my understanding, Mr. Bilkins. But if you say so, I believe
Well,
you're
that was the
correct.
tone of the detective that we were speaking to.
Yes, sir. You're probably right.
Mr. Reed, do you have a family attorney?
We don't need no damn attorney. What'd you do this time? Did you mess up again, boy?
No, Father. I did some work with Mr. Hemmicker, and the police seem to think that what I did might have something to do with what's going on today.
What's wrong? What's wrong with Don? What did you do? You didn't do anything to bug Don, did you? He's a good guy.
No, sir. He's gone.
Gone where? What?
Mr. Reed, Mr. Hemmicker has deceased. He passed away last night. Police
Oh,
seem to think that young
damn.
Tony here is partially responsible.
What? He's an old man. Probably just keeled over. I mean, the guy walks 3 miles to catch a bus to the museum, and then he works at the museum all day, and he's like 110 years old.
Under normal circumstances, I would agree with you, but the line of questioning with young Tony here seems to center around the involvement of a set of knives that young Tony helped Mr. Hemmicker procure.
None of this makes any sense to me. Hey, Hammerker was married, wasn't he?
He was.
Did he marry young, or because Anthony, you could use a new mom, right? And he kind of punches you in the arm.
Yeah, that's right, Dad. But I don't think she's your type.
Got to be more type than your mother. All right, get out of here. Don't make any trouble and be back for dinner.
Yes, sir.
What are you
I'll make
making
sure
tonight?
Mr. Reed, do I understand you don't intend on getting an attorney for your...
Well, Mr. Bilkins, you catch my intention properly, sir. And if you will now extricate yourself from my premises, I shall continue the consumption of my alcoholic beverage.
Mr. Reed, I fully expected your son to have a run-in with the law, but not for at least 14 to 20 years from now. Based off your treatment of him, his trauma will last well into later years of his life, and he will not amount to much. But now, there's something you can do for him. You can get him some help to make sure that he has proper representation and doesn't get himself into any more trouble with that giant mouth of his.
Dad,
Mr. Bilkins, you're right, and I apologize. I have just one question, sir. Does the stick come out, or is it firmly lodged in your ass?
Have a good day, Mr. Reed. Young Tony.
I'm sure I will.
Mr. Bilkins turns around and will exit the premises.
Tony, don't come. Tony. Who's calling you Tony? Anthony, bring back a 6-pack when you come back.
Yes, sir. I'll wrap up with the police as quick as I can, and I think shepherd's pie tonight.
You just don't let them give you any shit, son.
Yes, sir. You're right. I'll make sure that we handle this, and it won't come back here. I promise.
You better.
Yes, sir. And I'll do my best to catch up to Mr. Bilkins if he's still relatively close by.
Yeah, well, just watch for the wagon stick. I'm sure you can catch up with him that way.
And I'll head out the door and close it behind me.
Right. So we have you all grouped together, figuring out vehicles. I'll let you guys figure out who's riding with whom, but you make your way to the local hospital. Mrs. Smalls gets out and, well, I guess I have to go do mine alone. And she makes her way into the hospital.
Rebecca would kind of get close to Penelope. Is she always like that?
A little bit.
I'm so sorry, dear.
What a good dad.
Yes. Anthony, I suppose we'll probably want most of you waiting out inside the waiting room while we attend to looking at the body, and I'll be checking in on Miss Hemmicker. That I'll be doing alone. But then we will head to the station to take everyone's statements and see if we can get this all figured out. Okay, so let's just head on in, and I'll try to be as quick as I can, so nobody is just stuck waiting. Okay.
Right. So who is going to the sub-basement with Officer Theron?
I'm going where the
Penelope
body
is, and Mr.
wherever that
Small.
is.
Yeah,
okay,
that'll
fine.
be in the sub-basement.
Yep.
Absolutely. Are the rest of you going to stay at the car, or what's your plan?
Am I allowed?
You can go to the outside part of it. I'm not going to let you into the back room area.
Yeah, probably not. All right.
I mean,
I'll just hang out with everybody else then.
And while we're walking, I would be trying to prep Penelope and the schmalzes.
Harley, are you going to go with, or are you going to stay?
I'll stay back with the group.
Okay.
But I'll kind of, as Penelope leaves, I'll give her a quick like hand grab and just, I'll be here for you.
Thanks.
So
She'll actually give her bag to Harley and she'll be like, guard this with your life.
Can I have one? One of there's donuts in this, right? Okay, yeah, thank you.
Now, I'm not going to, as we're walking and get past everyone else, I would be referring specifically to Penelope. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. What you're about to see is going to be quite grisly.
I know, I've seen dead bodies online before.
The
Been on the forums.
The state of this body is not. It's not intact. Mr. Hemaker suffered immense trauma to every part of his body. So he may be hard to recognize, but just, I'll be here if you need anything. I apologize for having to drag you out for this. Okay?
It's fine. If they think an old lady is capable of it, it can't be that bad. But thank you for the warning.
Okay. Just, it's gonna be bad. And with that, I would presumably talk to the doc attending.
Okay.
And
you step into the elevator, press the button below the basement. The gears kick in and it lowers you down, and the doors open to a space that is just dead quiet. There's a long hallway, and you see a set of double doors at the end of the hall. Every step echoes as you walk down this hallway. Yes.
Just a quick reminder, I put my phone in my pocket where it's looking out.
Okay.
I don't know if there are searches or anything like that, but...
No.
Alright, cool.
Make your way down to the end of the hall, and officer there pushes the door open, squeaks a little bit, and you're hit with a rush of cold air. The room's definitely more chill than every place else you've been. You step inside, and a young lady steps around the corner, dressed in a medical smock. Oh, can I help you?
These are the schmalzes. We are here to see the body of one Mr. Hemaker brought in earlier today.
Oh, hi. She extends her hand. I'm Assistant Medical Examiner Carson. I'm very sorry we have to do this. I apologize. I wish there was a way around it. Normally, we would try to trace fingerprints, but we tried dental work, but we're not sure what. I'm sorry. This is going to be very rough for you to see. I'm very sorry. The face is going to be puffy. We tried to put it back on as best we could, and we couldn't get his dentures to fit properly, or we would have used those to research and try and find out who he is. And at this, Mr. Small raises his hand. Wait a minute. Dentures? I'm sorry, but Don was very proud of his natural teeth that he had kept for 84 years of his life. He did not wear dentures.
Dad, I know that's weird, but she just said they had to put his face back on.
Well, let's go see it. Okay, come along with me. And she leads you into a room. The wall is lined with these large doors. They're about 4x4. The room is very cold. Smells of antiseptic. She walks over to the middle drawer, pops the latch and opens it, and pulls out a drawer. And there's a shape that's roughly a body shape underneath it. She looks directly at Penelope. Miss, are you sure you want to see this?
Yes.
Your father looks at him and goes, I'm not sure I am. And he takes your hand and holds your
I'll take
hand.
it. Dad, you know you
Person
don't have
walks.
to do this.
Yeah, it's. You can do it, I can do it, sweetie. Carson walks over and rolls back the blanket. And the face that you see is like a distorted caricature of the man you knew. There's a seam running all the way around the front of the face. They've tried to put makeup on seams where they've sewn it back in, but it's puffy and bloated and just doesn't fit right, and it doesn't sit properly. The nose isn't in the right place. The eyes sockets just don't look right. And now that you see the mouth, you can tell the shape's not right. The teeth aren't. Those aren't the shape of Don Hamaker's teeth. But through it, you can kind of tell. And your dad says he's got a tattoo from where he served. It's on his left shoulder blade. She says, well, I'd roll him over, but I'm sorry, it wouldn't be worth it. It's not there anymore. The tattoo's not there? No, sir. The shoulder blade's not there anymore. Your father turns, looks at you, Penelope. I'm sure it's him. Are you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And she covers him back up and says, I'll step outside if you need a few moments.
I will as well. And she would walk out with the nurse. And sort of whispering to the nurse practitioner, or medical examiner. Can you make a note of that? Those dentures. If something's mismatching there, I'd like to take a look at that.
It's all in the report. Actually, they're typing it up now. If you'd like to take it with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go get it. I'll be back in a few minutes. And she walks down the hallway. And you hear as the tapping of her shoes echoes down the hall. She turns into an office at the end of the hallway near the elevators. And inside, as she opens the door, you can hear someone typing as it reverberates down this empty hallway.
Dad, she couldn't have done this.
Why would anybody, what kind of animal, do this?
And Penelope, with a sense of morbid curiosity, if the body is still out, would attempt to pull the sheet back down.
Penelope, what are you doing?
No, just listen. This is gonna be big. This is gonna go to court, and they will sugarcoat what this looks like. And I need to know if this is something that an over 80-year-old woman can do.
Penelope, you're not the police.
I
You
know
got
I'm not
lucky
the
that one
police.
time, and you were lucky to be alive.
I'm
Psycho
fine,
could
and
have killed you.
I'm not in danger right now. And if I want to do what I want to do, then I need to be able to see these things.
I think there's something you need to be aware. While you're going on, he just keeps talking like he's talking to the air. I think you really should be aware. Your great aunt's mom. The reason she wasn't around, is because she killed her husband one night. Took Aunt Florence, left her on the front steps of the diocese, and turned herself into the police. The only thing she left your aunt with were the clothes on her back and her favorite toy. I know you didn't know this because, I mean, why should you know? But you say, could a woman kill her husband?
That I don't doubt. But to take his face off is another thing. And apparently his shoulder blade is gone. That takes a lot. That's a lot of effort. That's a lot of energy to do. And I want to see, is it a clean cut? Was it a hit? Was it sliced? Was it like, because they're gonna want to pin it on the spouse. They always do, and as soon as they know this, which they will find out, they're gonna blame her. And I don't think she did it.
You
And I don't
know,
if she's not going to talk, if she's not going to recover, she's not going to be able to defend herself.
I'm sure the truth will come out, and I respect your wanting to be a part of that, Penelope, and I will support you in that. But please don't upset your mother.
I'm not. She doesn't have to know.
I'm not going to tell her. I'm just asking you, please.
It's
And
fine. She's blocked from my social media anyway.
you know, with your talents, I'm sure you can get a copy of the report. I mean, they will have taken pictures and typed up everything, and unless you think you're going to capture something on your phone.
I just want to make sure they do this right, Dad. There are so many cases. You have no idea. You watch the news and they're like, oh, so and so did it, and you're like, oh wow. There's so many cases where they get the wrong person. Right. And this could be one of them. They might not have a clue. They're inundated with cases, and they're just going to want to pin it on the closest person to avoid panic.
Okay. I know you can do this. Just don't get in trouble doing it.
Mm.
And there's a tapping on the door as Carson comes back, hands the paperwork to Officer Theron. She opens the door and...
A minute, please.
Okay. Just let me know.
And once the door shuts, Penelope's going to pull the sheet back. Not completely off, but like probably about to like here.
Okay. And we can go over what the photos show later, but take as many photos as you want.
Mm-hmm.
Video, photo, whatever.
Cool.
You can't stream because there's no signal down here.
She wouldn't be streaming.
Just making sure you know. All right. So let me know when you're done. Anything you want to do.
As soon as, like, if there's anything in particular that looks very odd, like she would, want to...
I would say all of it looks very odd.
Then she would probably then, after taking a bunch of like video and photo, cover it back up and then do the lower, but not the groin area. She doesn't want to see that. That's something she's not wanting to see. But like waist down, like not waist down, but like thigh down, kind of thing as well.
When you pull the sheets up, I'm going to need you to make a resolve and composure check for me, please.
Can't wait to be scarred for life. Oh, 2 successes.
All right. The initial shock of what you see makes you step back. I mean, they have pieced together sections of his legs. The bones are there, but they've tried to match the skin up as best they could, but you can tell in places it's a jigsaw puzzle, and sometimes they got the colors wrong. The piece may have fit, but that doesn't mean it's the right one for the spot. It's like it's like if you have a bad piece of fruit and you decide to cut the bad part out. You know? You can't just match the pieces back up around it. But that's as you look at his knee, that's the thought that comes to mind, is that's like somebody tried to cut a bruise out of a peach.
Alright. Cool. Put that back over, and she, she then keeps it. She then starts a new video recording, but she hides it in her bra, so it will capture audio, but basically it's less likely to be found or confiscated if anyone sees it. And I mean, she's pale as it is. She doesn't go outside much, and when she does, it's nighttime. But she is even whiter at this point, like a sheet. And then we'll probably tell the dad that she's finished, so he can look back if he wanted to.
Right. Let's go and check on your aunt.
Dad, she couldn't have done this.
I'm pretty sure I believe you. I just don't understand what did.
And we would go get the. Oh.
We're done. Naomi walks in, and I'm very sorry for your loss and this tragedy. She hands over a card to your father, and if you need to talk to anyone.
Might I get one of those too?
Certainly. She hands you another one.
If I was to ring this and ask questions, would you be able to answer?
Well, that's not me. That's a grief counselor that we work with.
Oh, she just hands it back.
Why would you need to contact me? I mean, I'm afraid I'm not a grief counselor.
No, you do autopsies, right?
Yes.
Have you seen anything like this before? An animal? What
like
kind of
this? Like this? No. Anyway, Officer Theron, if you would take them down to the hallway at the end, our secretary has some paperwork to sign to say that they identified the body. If you would, please.
Of course. All right. Let's get moving. We'll go fill that out. I'm sorry you had to see that. I really am.
As you leave the room, Carson slides the tray in and closes and secures the door.
I assume Carson gave me the advance report already.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Yep. Tuck that away. Okay. So we'll check in on Miss Hemaker with your mother. And just we'll get this done as quickly as we can. I'm sorry.
I am going to need you to make that next check with your presence and socialize, please.
Yeah.
Carson walks out the door and please go take care of the paperwork if you would. And she slides something into your hand, Panda, and continues down the hallway.
Once while the dad is signing stuff, like while I'm waiting my turn, she's gonna, if no one's looking, try and take a peek. The note.
There is an email address written on the back of the business card for the grief counselor.
She will zip that in a pocket so it can't fall out. Zip that, boy.
I'm gonna go check on everyone else, make sure they're doing okay. Come back to the lobby once you're done, and we'll go up to Mrs. Hemaker, see if she's responsive. And sorry, go ahead.
Just tell Harley to share out the donuts.
Of course. Of course. Are you doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And I'll head back up to the main lobby.
Rebecca, before you go.
Yes.
Did you find him?
No.
Did you see where he was?
Yeah, I did.
Do you have a card?
Of course I do. And she'll reach into her pocket and grab one of her cards for the Chicago Police Department. This is my personal number. You can call it anytime you need.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And she'll actually go to shake her hand.
All right. I'll turn the shake. Long day ahead. She'll head back up the elevator.
Are the rest of you staying in the vehicle? Who is going into Mrs. Hemaker's?
I would want to see if Penelope was all right with me going with her to see Miss Hemaker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. To be honest, I don't know how my mum's gonna be, so it might just be you in there at the beginning if she's not alright.
So I know now's probably not a good time to bring up anything, but we should probably talk when you're feeling all right too, you know? I just don't want my, business partner going through this alone, and I guess I'm not great with these things. Just, don't feel alone if you don't have to.
I appreciate it. Don't worry, it's not. If anything, it just ignites the passion to teach more people how to defend themselves, right?
Yeah, that's right. You got to look for something to motivate yourself, I guess. But we'll get through this. You're well, there's nothing I can really say right now, but you'll be all right. I know you can be.
Maybe I can just. Maybe we can run a seniors class.
Yeah. I'm sure Sensei would be happy to do that, and you know, they have a lot of questions to ask me as well. I that is there anything that I should know before I tell them anything?
Penelope just puts her hand on his like shoulder. Just tell them the truth. Don't feel guilty.
Yeah, I figure we got to tell him everything, but
Don't don't be afraid to drag me into it. Is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, as long as you're sure. I don't want you to have to deal with more of this, and they're not gonna.
Honestly, the more time I'm answering questions, the less I have to think about it. So
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, right. But if you have to deal with that Ryland guy, just try not to let him get you too worked up. That guy's a real dick.
Yeah. I mean, Rebecca seems nice, so maybe we can get her instead.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe this isn't the right time to bring it up, but that guy he was really pushing me, trying to say that it was somehow Mr. Hemmicker was afraid or I just I'm worried that they're trying to put things the wrong way, you know?
They always try the spouse first. And not gonna lie, most of the times they're right, but I think in this instance it'll die down pretty quick. I mean, she's old. And I think it's safe to say I think if anyone saw the body, you'd know it's not something an 80-plus-year-old is capable of.
Well, maybe it's best to leave this alone, just for now. I'm sorry.
Okay. And then I take it we head up.
All right.
No,
Now,
tell me, show hands. I want to know who's going, so I know who's staying in the car. Okay. Well, Rebecca, you're going, obviously. So, right. As you make your way in, you bump into a beat cop who's standing there with his radio, and the eyewitness said it was an older model Ford Taurus. Yeah, they got the guy in. They're checking him out right now.
we're here to see Miss Hemmicker. Just to check up on her.
Because I'm just here. We brought this guy in off the street, said he was hit by a car. I think he's drug shopping personally, but keeps talking about pizzas. I don't know. I don't know if you've been in this hospital much. Head straight down, take a left. That'll get you out of the ER, and maybe somebody at the front reception could help.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Oh, and sorry. I know. Just that dude who's in. He's fine. I have video footage of him fine. I think he's doing
I'm sorry.
some kind of.
You know who hit him?
No one hit him. It's a scam.
What are you trying to tell me, miss?
Saying the guy's fine. He's trying to run a scam.
Would you like to make a statement in relation to this?
If he tries to press charges, then yes.
Look, if you've got something to tell, officer, she's with you. If she's got something to say about a crime that's been committed,
I understand. I'll get her statement on this as well.
if
Right
you
now,
know
we're
who
just
hit, if you know who was driving that car and you don't say anything, you do realize that puts you at risk as well, right, ma'am?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, officer. I'm sorry to interrupt, but she's going through a lot today. Can you let her be a little bit? She's trying to cooperate.
Young
You
man,
have an officer here that's going to take the statement. Leave her alone.
She's.
I'm not the one who brought it up.
Of course.
You're right, sir.
I've got it handled. Don't worry. Okay?
Yes, officer.
Thank you, Anthony. See you later back at the meeting.
Yeah. Right, so you make your way down the hall. It's a bustling ER. You know, it's Southside Chicago. There are bullet wounds, ODs, fist fights.
I will be scolding Penelope a little bit. Are you trying to get yourself in trouble with the law?
No, but I'm just letting them know that I have information that it's a scam.
Boris does this kind of shit all the time. He's got a bruise, probably got it getting beat his ass kicked or something, okay? We're just focus on this, okay? This is a little bit more pressing. Thank you. Now let's go.
You make your way up to reception and yes, officer?
We are looking for Miss Hemaker. She should have been brought in police custody.
Hemecker?
I believe there's 2 M's.
2 M's. Oh, I see it here. Florence Hemaker? Is that correct? She is in 708.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Elevators are right over that way.
Right, come on. Let's. Now, there is a chance that she's still in shock. If she is, we're not going to be able to get a response from her. Make sure to please use your inside voices here. No getting heated, no matter what you think, no matter what happens, okay? This is a very delicate situation. Okay?
And a few stops along the way, but you're on the 7th floor. Doors open, and right across from the nurse's station.
Do we see Miss Smalls outside? Or is she?
She's going to be in a room.
All right.
Nurse looks up and, are you looking for the elderly woman?
Yes, Miss Hemaker.
Officer Ludlow is with her in room 708, just down the hall that way.
Okay, that's fine.
Are you the detective they were expecting?
Yes, Junior Detective Rebecca Theron.
Okay, I'll page the doctor.
Thank you. All right.
You enter the room, and there's Mrs. Hemaker lying in the bed. It's elevated a little bit. She's just lying there, staring straight ahead. Officer Ludlow looks as you come in. He goes,
Oh.
You look chipper for last night. I didn't get to go home yet.
Yeah. Believe me, I haven't been home either, so.
She hasn't done anything but just lay there.
And still white knuckle grip?
No, I think the doctor will tell you about that. I was outside during all that.
Okay. And I assume Miss Schmalz is in the room as well?
Yeah, she is. She's just sitting at the side holding her hand. Miss Hemaker's hand.
I'm sorry you have to see her like this, Miss Schmalz.
Me too. I'm more sorry that you people think that she's capable of something like this. Why aren't you out there looking for the psycho that killed her husband?
We're exploring every possible avenue, Miss Schmalz. And while I think it unlikely that she did this, I can't rule out the possibility completely.
Unlikely. Penelope, you are hanging around with this woman and she thinks that your aunt did this? I mean, you know, she can find murderers.
I know. I've worked with her before. Right now, we're investigating every avenue, Miss Schmalz, and we cannot discount the possibility of somebody who was.
Oh, really?
In the room.
Who have you looked at besides my aunt?
Right now, nobody. We're still
okay.
Gathering
That's
witnesses.
not all avenues, then, is it, Miss? I would appreciate it if you did not lie. My child is in the room, please.
I know. Apologies. we will be continuing to investigate. And we'll bring whoever it was to justice. Okay?
And after a few minutes, the doctor walks in. Hello, Dr. Justice.
Pleasure. Junior Detective Rebecca Theron.
Good to meet you.
Great name, sir.
You must be Penelope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Your mother's talked so much about you.
Like a look of concern goes over her face. Like, oh
And
no.
your mom just kind of looks away when he says that. She was sedated, but there's none of that in her system now. She just won't respond. They had the thing that was in her hand. We've turned it over to Officer Ludlow. It was some kind of cotton fiber.
Okay.
We're not quite sure where it came from, but
Ludlow, I assume you've got that in one of the bags.
Nope, it's already been sent over.
Beautiful. All right, I'll have to get in contact with Santiago. Was there? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. There isn't a lot to say. I mean, she as long as she's been conscious, she hasn't said anything. But when when she was first sedated, she kept saying a name over and over, and couldn't quite make it out. It's Mr. Pico. And at this, Mrs. Small just lets out a.
Oh, you've heard the name before, Miss Smalls.
Yeah, it's her stuffed animal that she's had since she was a little girl.
Pico.
Look, she's probably missing it. It's okay.
Honey, that thing's been lost for ages.
Even more reason to miss it.
Oh, poor things, it's probably snapped her mind. All she can think of, she's probably gone back to her childhood.
What is it? Maybe if we can get her a replica or something, she'll feel better.
Maybe.
I don't know how you're going to get a replica of something her mom sewed for her back in the 30s. You know, it's made of all kinds of scrap. They didn't have money back then, you know.
That's an idea.
Do you think this is a shock-induced catatonia?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure what it is at this point. It's like she... You know, I've seen people when I was in med school who had a bad trip. And they had that look of utter terror on their face. That's the closest thing I can liken it to.
Were there any drugs in her system? Anything out of the ordinary? Elevated levels of...
No drugs. Her blood sugar was perfect. Blood pressure's a little high, but, you know, that's kind of to be expected at this age. She could probably lose a few pounds, but if I'm in as good a shape as her when I'm this old, I'd be a happy man.
No injuries at all?
There is nothing physically wrong with her.
That's so strange. She kind of like whispers in, like try and prevent Florence from hearing, but no blood, scratch marks, bruises, nothing. Okay.
Oh, we cleaned a lot of blood off of her, but none of it was hers.
Saying, does it look like there was a struggle?
Well, she's got some abrasions. It almost looks like rug burn on her hand. That's the one that she was holding the cotton material in.
So almost like she had ripped it from something, or taken it from the ground.
That's not my area. I'm afraid I just try to keep them alive.
Of course, we'll investigate that as well, but no bruises. You
No,
you would expect there to
no,
be some kind of trauma.
no.
That much blood, that much struggle, there would be trauma. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I've got a note here. I guess we have a nurse on staff who likes to do vintage clothing and things. And she made a comment on the cotton fiber. She said something like it was used as some kind of what did she call it? Batting, like for batting or stuffing things back in old clothes around the 30s or 40s time.
Old clothes, 30s, 40s.
But
we just talked about her, and I'll kind of look towards Mish Smalls. You said her stuffed animal was made around that time, right?
I suppose so. What
Just
are you thinking that she? I mean,
maybe.
honestly, that thing has been in a box. They don't go up and down the stairs. They haven't for decades.
So it's not lost. It's in a box.
Well, assuming the box is still there. I mean,
okay. Just could be nothing. Probably nothing. But
well, I'm pretty sure it is. Next thing you're going to be telling me that the stuffed animal did it.
I hadn't gone quite that far, but we're that could be something. There were tracks on the stairs, I remember, and bloodstains. So we'll have to inspect most of the things in the house, make sure there's no connection.
Well, I'm sure you will do what you have to do. Maybe you should be doing it instead of standing here talking about these things in front of my aunt, who is obviously distraught.
Yes, of course. Apologies, Mr. Smalls.
I mean, that other gentleman just stands there all day and stares.
Just doing a job. Mum, do you remember what kind of animal it was?
What? What kind of animal what was?
The soft toy.
Oh. I think it was supposed to be a rabbit.
Okay.
Rabbit. Okay, thank you.
A weird wave of relief goes over Penelope's face.
Okay. Anything else out of the ordinary about Miss Hemaker, or just?
No, I'm not sure what we're going to do. We'll keep her here, but like I said, she's stable. And at some point, I'm going to have this bed available for somebody who needs it.
Right
I really hate to see this old woman sit in a cell or something, but
right now I'll be working with the department. We can't just put somebody who appears to be catatonic into a cell. But we'll work something out.
Well, why don't you figure out and I'll take her home with me so I can keep an eye on her. She is my aunt after all.
There is still the possibility that she had some part in this. We can't. Not until we're certain, not until we've at least been able to question her.
Just go away.
All right.
Penelope, and she looks dead at you. Don't let them let this drop.
All right. Let's get you kids, get the rest of everyone, and head to the station. We'll take some statements, and then we can drive you back home.
Oh, you're headed to the station? It's Ludlow.
Yes.
If you could, find out who's supposed to spell me. I mean, I'm going on 16 hours here.
Okay. Yeah. I'll get you relief about that. Don't worry.
I mean,
All right.
at least somebody could bring me a donut or something.
Actually, I have a martial art training. I would easily be able to defend myself, and there's actually a bag of donuts downstairs. If I could have a moment alone, you could go get some donuts if you'd like.
I'm sorry, I can't.
You can't leave this post. You want a snack from the vending machine? I can grab you one.
Sure.
What
That'd
do
be
you want?
great.
Something
Anything
chocolate
at
and
this
peanuts?
point. In
All
a
right.
large coffee.
I can do that. All right. So let's get that done, and we'll head back down.
Right.
Miss Schmalls, will you be staying here a moment?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. I'll let Mr. Schmalls know.
Right.
We'll get Ludlow a snack and coffee.
He's
And,
quite appreciative of it. He won't be when he finishes the coffee and realizes he can't leave his post to go to the restroom, but that's all right.
Yeah. We'll get you some relief, and we'll head back down. Unless
Right.
anyone has anything else to do.
What's happening at the car?
I kind of thought we were in the waiting room when we first
Okay,
got here.
wherever you wish to be. So I'd asked who was staying in the car, and nobody said. they
I
were
think a
leaving,
waiting
room.
So
Yeah.
okay.
Sure, waiting room makes more sense.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I don't see myself waiting in the car.
Okay.
Like,
There is a constant influx of ill people coming and going, people visiting, so forth. Go ahead.
Mr. Bilkins, I had let the officer know that I was interested in making a statement about that person that we encountered on the bus. I figure if they let us, we could make it together, or at least go with each other to do so. I think it might be relevant to what's going on.
Miss Phillips, your interaction on the bus was important to whatever this investigation is. You thought that the two were connected somehow?
Well, I
Man hitting on you on the bus and some sort of murder investigation.
I I would need to make a statement about it regardless, and it was a suspicious person that was in the area, so I think it's worth commenting on.
I see. Well, I'm here and I'll be there as well, so if it makes it go any faster, I wouldn't mind doing it with you, I suppose. I'm
Wonderful.
mainly just here to make sure we don't see Mr. Reed on a Netflix documentary.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful to see you, Anthony. How are you?
I'm doing all right. There's a lot of things going on, you know. But I should be all right.
Well, let me know if you need anything. Were you close with the Hemmekers?
Kind of. Mr. Hemmeker did a lot. We did a lot together. It's something we can talk about later. I think Penelope probably needs your help a lot more than I do, anyway.
Oh, I can be a friend to many, not just one person. So you're welcome to talk to me as much as you need. I need the Hemmekers as well. So it's very stressful. I didn't know Mr. Hemmeker as well as Mrs., but I just hope everything gets sorted out. Do you know when Penelope's going to be back?
I imagine she'll be coming soon. They were wrapping up a couple of things, paperwork, I guess, with the hospital. I don't really know. But she's doing about as well as she can be, I guess. But I'm just worried. You know, I've only got so many people that I can count on, and she's my business partner. Without her, there's no way.
Oh. I didn't know you were partners.
Oh, for another time. It's not important right now anyway.
Yeah. Wait, so all three of you know each other?
I work with the school. Anthony's
Right.
a student, and Mr. Bilkins here is a teacher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm the pizza guy. uh cool.
I'm sorry if you're feeling left out.
Oh no, it's no problem. I'm perfectly content to listen. I knew the Hemikers too for what it's worth.
Hmm.
Uh yeah, Mr. Hemiker, he helped fix my car one time.
Oh,
And Mrs. Hemiker, she would give me book recommendations. Uh you you and Penelope, you do you have a business together?
Uh, well, kind of. She handles the filming for some things that I need personally. It's a budding business relationship. We haven't signed contracts just yet, so
that's
Okay.
exciting.
but
That's really cool.
All of a sudden, there's a couple of beeping noises almost in sync as Mr. Bilkins and Eddie's phones chirp for a new message.
Is that yours or mine?
Yeah. Well, it was mine.
It's
Sounded like
actually
yours
mine
as
too.
well.
You look at it and you see that it's a notification from Penelope's blog site. New message just posted.
Huh.
Hmm. Oh, I'll open it.
So,
I'll read it. I'm not talking to these people, so.
All right. If you're the only one reading it, I'll send it to you in text.
no, I'm reading it too.
Oh, that takes all the fun out of it. It says, the police are pretty sure they found the killer, comma, ignore my earlier message.
What killer? Do you know anything about a killer? Oh, so this is a murder investigation then.
Killer. Oh, so you follow her blog too?
Apparently, we follow the same person. I do it purely for educational purposes.
Yeah, me too.
Is there something going on?
She said, her blog said that they found a killer. I told you, Mr. Reed. They wouldn't tell us, but there was a murder, and there is a killer.
How would murder Mr. Hemiker? Guy never heard of fly as far as I know.
but you're saying she's said that they found the killer? That doesn't sound like her at all. She wouldn't release any information if the police haven't said anything yet. There's no way.
I specifically told her and tagged along to make sure she wouldn't get in trouble with the law. So it doesn't make any sense for her to say that. I mean, how could they have gone from knowing to not knowing within the
So-
small amount of time that we've been at the hospital?
Well, so if you're saying that she wouldn't do that, then was her account hacked or what?
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a lot going on. She could have. I don't know. Maybe she's under a lot of stress. I just don't think she would post something like that. She'll show up soon, I imagine. I mean, how long can the paperwork really take?
Huh. Well,
I recommend that one of you. Do either of you have her number? You said you were business associates, Mr. Reed.
Yes, you're right.
I
Mr.
recommend you
Williams.
call her and let her know what got posted on her blog.
Not an
or
unsettling
someone
thought,
else
though.
sees it.
I mean, if someone's trying to put words in her mouth, then what if they try to keep the real her quiet?
I'm more concerned with the killer finding out that they've been outed and they go on the run, leaving Mr. Reed here as the police is only.
Why would
That post needs to be taken down as quickly as possible.
Anthony be a suspect at all?
There was a line of questioning involving a set of knives that Mr. Reed helped to procure yesterday evening.
Did you get them from a man named Denny?
Yeah, Mr. Denny. He runs a pawn shop, but how would you know that? And
That's the person we ran into in the bus. So it could possibly be Mr. Matthews, and Mr. Bilkins, you're just being mean to me as usual.
And as that
I'm
discussion's
sorry,
going on,
Mr.
I'll
Reed.
type out. Sorry.
You said you got a set of knives from a pawn shop man named, what was it?
His name was Mr. Denny.
You describe him, please.
And I'll describe what he looks like because I can't remember.
Miss Phillips, I hope I won't have to say this again. I apologize. It appears you were right. There is a connection between our man on the bus and the person who sold you those knives, Mr. Reed.
Well, thank you for the apology. I think it's more important that we make that statement as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I'll send a message to Penelope right now just to see if she knows what's going on.
Yeah, about this time we would be heading into the waiting room.
Yeah, I was gonna say my phone would be on silent because she would be hiding it, and it is in her. It's been recording, so it would also not buzz or anything. But yeah, probably around this time she would, if okay with the ST, would probably go into the waiting room.
Yeah. You enter the space, and everybody's kind of looking at each other.
So, everyone ready to come make a statement?
Yeah, but first, Penelope, you haven't been posting, right?
Posting
on your blog.
Have you, Penelope?
Look, I made one post a while ago, a few hours ago, just asking if anyone had been around the area. That's it. I gave no information. I did nothing that isn't already out in the public. I swear.
You need to check your blog right now.
Yeah, there was an update posted. That wasn't you?
Oh, Harley, yeah, if you could pass my phone. And she kind of approaches Harley and like grabs the phone out of the bracelet. Yes, thank you.
Harley will she will eye roll heavily and help along.
Rebecca will also eye roll very heavily.
Thank you for holding on to this for me.
Of course.
Okay. And she'll really quickly attempt to just log in.
Okay.
And it wasn't me, I swear. I your phone was in my bag the whole time. They would have seen me post something.
Of course.
And you log into your account, and there is a new message posted, and the log entry shows it was posted from your computer at home.
Okay. Rebecca, is it?
Yes. Penelope?
Someone has posted from my account from my home on my home computer. Someone has posted on my blog on my home computer at home. They're in my house. Someone is in our house.
Certain?
So yes, and she'll hold it up and show like where it says where it's someone is in my house.
You're sure this IP couldn't be used from outside your home?
I don't know, but I have everything locked down. I have 2-factor authentication on everything. I have randomized generated passwords. No one can guess. No one can hack in. Even my security questions, they're all wrong answers that only I would know. There's no one can. They would have to be on my computer.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna assume that you did not post anything.
No.
I'm going to assume
I have
that
been with people this whole time.
I didn't know if you had maybe posted something while I had left while you were in the morgue.
No.
I was just making sure. Nobody else has access to this. Nobody.
No. I
Anthony,
have it.
you don't
I
have
have
access
it,
to this?
I have it logged in on my computer and my phone. I don't log in anywhere else.
Not at the library, not anywhere.
No. What is this? The 90s?
I don't know. Some people go to the library still. I go to the library.
I go to the library still.
See?
I get it. I'm just to log into it.
Okay. I'm gonna assume then that this is a home invasion. I'm gonna call it in, and I'll get some backup and I'll respond. Okay?
Okay, and I know this is gonna sound really weird, but something was misplaced in my room earlier, and I didn't place it there, and my parents seemed to know anything. At first, I thought it was a prank, but if someone is in their home, they could have been in there even earlier today.
You think so? What had changed? What gave it away? I guess. Anything you can tell me.
That panda bear, that the guy gave me, it's on my pillow. I hadn't even washed it yet. It was still dirty. Someone put it on my pillow. No one goes in my room.
This isn't this isn't a prank, right?
No,
your stuffed doll was moved if somebody broke into your home.
I'm just saying now. I asked my parents. They said it wasn't them, and I think that, I mean, I didn't move it. I'm just giving as much information as I possibly can.
Okay, and what did the blog post say?
It said that they found the killer. Disregard my earlier post asking for more information.
Are either of your parents home? Are both your parents still here at the hospital?
They're both here, and I know
Mr. Smalls
that
goes, I'm over here.
Mr. Smalls is over there. Miss Smalls is upstairs. Does anyone else have access to your home? Any relatives, friends?
The only person that would really have access, and I don't even know if they had a key, would be the Hemekers.
Okay, and both Hemekers are here, so okay. Let me call this in, and I'll see what I can do. Okay.
And I know that this is normally met by no's, but do you think I can maybe go live real quick and just tell people that that's not me? Or shall I wait because it might alert whoever is in my home?
I would wait until we get a little bit more information on this, okay?
Well, I'm going to then really quickly film, not upload, but film right now so that I can tell people later, okay?
Okay. Just make it quick. We gotta go.
And she just hops outside and just does a quick mini vlog of her panicking and just doing a really quick rundown with little no information really given, but in terms of what's been happened publicly, she will comment on that, and that is not her.
Okay.
The rest of you, I know I said I was going to take your statements, but we may have to deal with this. If you would like, I can take your statements just right here real quick. You can also head down to the station and talk to Ryland if you need to, or another cop if Ryland makes you uncomfortable. I know he's kind of a brusque individual.
We were talking about our statements and found some similarities in evidence, so I think it's best if we really get everything written down at the station properly.
Okay.
Officer Ludlow comes around the corner, donut in his mouth. Oh, what are you still doing here? Thought you were taking him down to the station.
Yeah, we might have a home invasion I need to go deal with.
What? Where? What? Nothing came over the radio.
Yeah, apparently this young individual here suspects that somebody might have broken into her house. So I'm gonna take this. Ludlow, are you off yet?
I'll get this. Where's the house? I'll call some guys and we'll meet over there.
All right.
What are we looking for? What's going on?
Penelope, you go with Officer Ludlow. The rest of you, you'll come
No,
with me.
no, no. If we're going to an invasion, no. She can't go with us. We'll
Okay.
let you know what's going on. Just tell me what I'm looking for.
I would like to be in the car. This is my personal property.
No, you can't. If there is somebody in your home, it is a dangerous situation. I'm sorry, ma'am. You cannot go.
Gives address.
What's the address? Yeah.
Gives address. Eddie, could you give me a lift somewhere, please? Completely not connected.
He drove us here, so
Sure,
I
yeah.
assumed he would drive us to the station.
Yes, of course. To the station we go to give our statements. Yes.
We can all crowd in. It'll be fine. Yeah, we'll go to the station.
Sounds great.
Rebecca
Don't worry
will be
about
on
us,
the radio.
officer.
We have a report of a possible home invasion at address.
Okay. All right. I'll meet him over there, Officer Theron, and I'll let you know what we find. So.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and then I'm going to bed.
Thank you, Ludlow. I owe you. Okay.
All right. So he takes off, and just a moment later, you hear as his siren kicks up, and he takes off. Yes, Panda.
Makes one thing clear. We are not going to the station. I know.
Did any of you expect that? That was such. I'm gonna have to re-roll because I must have got crit fails on that one because I really thought that's where you were going.
Penelope, you need to keep your distance. Do you understand me?
I understand, but I also think something really strange is going on, and
I understand your concern. I need you to keep your distance, and as soon as you are satisfied, however long that takes, come down to the station so I can take your statement, okay? You have 2 hours.
Okay. Can you please go in the house too and make sure your officers don't do anything weird?
Ludlow's got it. Okay? He's a good man on the force. Right now, I gotta go take statements. Okay? Just, if you need to keep an eye on it, I can understand that, but you come to the station within 2 hours. And she'll actually, can I get your phone number so I can call you if something is amiss or something is awry?
Penelope writes down 3 different numbers. Hands over to you. In order of priority. Start at the top. It does not work way down.
Okay. Mr. Smalls, I will have to ask you come down to the station too. 1, to avoid that possible situation. 2, so I can take any statements on anything you might have found out of the ordinary. If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Of course. See you at the station, Penelope. And he kind of winks.
And as we go out, I assume Eddie and Penelope break off. I'll just kind of mutter to Mr. Smalls. She is a handful of trouble. But she's smart, so I trust her.
So we have Reed, Wilkins, Theron, and Phillips, and Smalls, Mr. Smalls, all going in the police car to the station, and Mrs. Smalls and Mr. Stevens in the murder mobile.
Wow.
Yeah,
back
please
to the
don't.
house.
How did I end up in a police car?
Well, I don't know. What did you know? Whichever vehicle you're in. So. Are you driving yourself or are you riding with them?
Are you going to the police station to give statements, or are you going to tag along with me and Eddie?
Aaron is going to take us to the station, and Eddie is going to take Penelope to the station.
Is that open information, the station part?
Yes.
Only if you were paying attention and caught it as your character. That's up to you. They said they were going to the station, but I don't think it fooled anyone.
Yeah, it was very sarcastically said.
Harley and Reed at least would be going with Theron, I assume. So if you wanted to follow with us, that's where we'd be going.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with you guys. Sorry. Yeah,
No
I'll go
problem.
in the cop car.
All right.
Okay.
And with that,
Um,
we are going to take a 5-minute break. So we will be right back. One. Welcome back, and thank you for the raid that came just as we went to break. Apologize for that, but we were running a little late on our break time. I'm not muted, am I? Okay, good. I was like, am I sitting here blabbering and no one can hear me? Okay, good. All right, so who's headed with Officer Theron to the police department?
I believe before any of us get in cars, Bilkins wanted to speak with Penelope because that is a deciding factor in who gets in what car.
Okay, awesome. Mr. Bilkins, you're up.
Just, Miss Smalls, a moment of your time.
Yes?
Yes, you don't know who I am, but apparently we're all wrapped up in this thing together. I just want to let you know the first rule of any investigation is to inventory your theoretical orientation, your biases, any preconceived notions you may have. Now, what I've just noticed is that your preconceived notion is that there's a break-in at your house and that someone is sitting at your computer. I believe there are other possibilities or options. It's possible you were the victim of a phishing attempt that was successful. Someone could be spoofing your IP address. There are other options or opportunities to replicate your ID on your blog. So going forward, I think it's important that you inventory yourself and keep note that you jump to the most violent of conclusions when it could be something as simple as a phishing attempt or something technological.
I appreciate that, sir. However, one of the reasons I head to the more dangerous one is because of those options, it is the most urgent and pressing matter. So
That's true, Miss Smalls. That's true.
I would like to cross that one off the list as soon as possible, but I do appreciate your feedback. I will keep it in mind.
In the future, it might be more prudent to exercise caution before involving the police. Just a thought, Miss Smalls. Just a thought.
I would pull Eddie aside. Look, Eddie, I'm really bending the rules for you here.
Oh, for me. Thanks.
You and Miss Smalls. You have
Gotcha.
2 hours. 2. Okay? If there's anything untoward, gunshots, anything, you head to the station immediately. Do you understand?
Trust me, I'm going to try and rein her in. I don't know how I feel about this myself.
Okay. Good. Please be careful.
I will.
Okay. 2 hours.
Okay, 2 hours. I'll set a timer on my phone.
Even
no
better.
problem. Yeah.
All right.
I'll be back.
Mr. Bilkins, Reed, Miss Phillips, and Mr. Smalls, if you wouldn't mind, we'll be heading to the station now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Penelope, be safe, please.
Oh?
Okay. Do you want one of the? Do you want me to keep the donuts? What am I doing with this bag?
You can have the donuts.
Okay. Okay. Officer Theron, can we eat in your car? Is that allowed? Can you eat in a police car?
Yes, you can eat in a police car.
Okay, thank you.
It's not perfectly clean, so you'll be fine.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go.
I don't know. I think this is going to be the first time in history a donut has ever been eaten in a police car.
Wow. Yeah, Harley would hand them out to everyone.
Okay, and my brother's a cop, so I can say this.
Yeah, you're good.
While heading over to Eddie's car,
right.
Penelope's just like, "Don't go alone. It's too dangerous," they said. "But then don't involve the police. That's so stupid." Well, that's just like moaning to herself about the decision.
And Mr. Smalls
Sound like you have
goes
kind of a
with you.
crisis.
He doesn't take up a lot of room because he's small.
little bit of a crisis.
A little bit.
A little bit of a
We-
crisis, huh?
We head to the police station, and presumably they head back to Penelope's home.
All right, I'm going to go with the police station first. So you arrive, head inside, and as you're walking down the hall, you hear Dominic's voice. Rebecca,
Dominic, what's going
Hey.
on?
how's it going? Here, why don't you guys wait in here? And he directs you to this small waiting room.
Sorry about the waiting room. I'll get your statements in just a minute. This is my friend, Mr. Dominic Santiago.
Friend, I am her officer in charge. Don't let her fool you.
He thinks.
Yeah. All right, come on.
All right, let's go.
And he's carrying a stack of papers in his hand. And they said that you had the report. Ryland's waiting on it.
Oh, yeah.
Let me take it to him. Or...
Yeah, I'll take it to him here.
All right, he adds it to his stack.
Have we gotten any information on any suspects, any more victims in the area?
You're asking me, Miss Big Shot? No. You're assigned to Ryland. I'm here. I'm stuck with these unless you want one of these really exciting cases that's going on around this town.
No, please. Let's just get to Ryland.
Are you sure? Because you don't want this exciting case here of somebody's been going around ripping off old people in care facilities. Let's see here. We've got a sewing kit, a box of Cuban cigars. Well, and look at this. Look, they stole some old dude's teeth. Can you believe?
Some old dude's teeth. Wait.
Come on, you want some coffee or something?
Yeah. Like a set of dentures.
Are you sure you want the case file? You could look this up yourself.
No.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Set of upper and lowers.
Upper and lowers. Okay.
And they even took the glass they were sitting in on the side of the bed. Can you believe that?
Okay.
This is the best part. They've already been over and looked. No fingerprints anywhere. Now, realize there are nurses going in and out of these rooms. There were no fingerprints on the doorknob. So whoever this is really polished up after themselves.
Okay. That's strange, but I'll trust that with you. Right now, let me just get to Ryland and turn in what we got. And then those people there, I'm going to get their statements. So.
All right. Now you find this guy. You know, old Don was a good man. He helped me out when I was just starting out.
We'll figure it out. Between you and me, the damage to that body, no way Miss Hemiker did it. No way.
No, not Flo. She's a sweet lady.
All right, I'll report this stuff.
All right. You walk in and Ryland's on the phone and he just kind of points to his desk, to the inbox. Did you get the statements yet?
Getting them now.
All right. What's this about cars being dispatched to the Smalls?
Possible home invasion. We're
home
just making sure.
Is anybody at home?
No, there was something in particular that happened. Don't worry about it. It's just a quick dispatch to make sure.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would head back out and back into the waiting room. Okay. So, who wants to go first? That many volunteers, huh?
Okay. I wouldn't mind.
Phillips, you seemed pretty keen to come to the station and give your statement.
Yes.
Why don't you go first, Miss Phillips?
Oh, well, I mean, whoever wants to go first is welcome to go first.
We can get to you whenever you want. And just remember, you're not being interrogated. We're just getting a statement, okay?
Go on, Miss Phillips. Go on.
All right. Sure, Miss Phillips, if you wouldn't mind.
No, I don't mind at all.
And we would take our leave and head into one of the
Interrogation room 3 is open.
Okay, perfect. We head in there.
So you walk in, there's a solitary table, there's a recording device on the end of it, and on the far wall is a large, obviously two-way mirror.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's been an early day.
Yeah. I would click the recorder. All right, Harley Phillips, morning of whatever morning it is, in the investigation into the Mr. Hemmiker's murder. So, Miss Hemmiker, or excuse me. Oh God, I'm so tired. Miss Phillips,
Yes.
you wish to make a statement. So, what can you tell us about anything peculiar, anything that has happened, that has occurred, that you think might be connected, or any information you can give us on Hemmikers that you think might have been out of the ordinary? Please go ahead
Of course.
take your time.
In terms of the Hemmikers, I was close with Mrs. Hemmiker. She works at the library, and I go there often to study, to look into different texts on psychological disorders as I'm interning with the local high school. And she's always helped me, been very kind. And from what I understand, she's been a very kind, upstanding person to almost everyone in this side of Chicago. So I can't even begin to think of anyone that would want to harm them or any reason why she would want to harm her husband. They seem like they've been happily married for a long time. So the only thing I can think of is that any suspicious figures in the area. And on my way home from our last day of school for the semester, on the bus with Mr. Bilkins, there was a man, very, very cocky, very charismatic in the bad way, that approached us, sat by me, kind of was making comments. I tried to convince Mr. Bilkins to do the pretend boyfriend role and scare him away, but he just kept making jabs about how I deserve something better. This was around 5. We left the school late that day. Bilkins had to finish up some reading. I can't remember the bus number exactly, but
and Mr. Bilkins' full name?
He hasn't told me his first name.
Okay. Well, he's out there, so we'll get that.
Yes. So we were on the bus, and the reason why he started to make comments towards me, I assumed was just he was trying to hit on me, but then he had some kind of marketing ploy. He opened up a backpack, and he had this watch that he actually gave me. I don't have it on me, but I was intending to turn it back into the station.
If you wouldn't mind.
Of course. Yeah, I have suspicion that it might be stolen, and I wouldn't want to be holding anything like that. So he put it onto me without my consent. But we tried to just kind of shove them away, but they were insistent on us trying to buy something. And they did mention a knife block, which I assume could have been used maybe as a weapon, and some other things. And they mentioned another person that they had acquired those items from. And then from what I understand, talking with Anthony, he also owns a pawn shop. So I believe maybe even if he isn't involved in this murder per se, I do think maybe that pawn shop is under, I don't know, money laundering or stealing the items that they're selling.
Right. Let's focus on this. This gentleman's name, you said this was.
It was Denny Matthews. He gave me a card, and she'll go ahead and take it out and hand it to you.
Perfect. And then she would kind of move her face towards the recorder. One Denny Matthews, owner of Biggs Pawn and Loan. he apparently was trying to sell the knife block that we later bought. Officer Rebecca Aaron bought the knife block and returned it to the Hemekers. So he had suspected it was stolen, but he gave it up freely. So, well, perhaps something else to look into.
Yes, he said he got it off of someone, but I can't remember the name. I think Mr. Bilkins might know.
A possible avenue on who might have found or stolen the knife block. We'll follow up with Mr. Denny. Okay. And Miss Hamaker, when was the last time you had seen her? Were you good friends, acquaintances?
I really only ever saw her at the library. There was one time they invited me over to the home. She had offered me some money. I just recently moved to Chicago a few months ago to intern here as a gap year before going on to potential graduate studies. I'm still deciding, but they offered me some money and they had me over for dinner and they were incredibly kind. That was one of the only times I interacted with Mr. Hemaker, but I believe the last time I saw Mrs. Hemaker was about 2 weeks ago at the library. I had just stopped in for some reading and said hello, but I haven't really interacted with them since.
And the last time you saw Mrs. Hemaker, was there anything unusual, off about her?
No, I don't think so. We didn't talk a whole lot. I mean, it was a library, and I respect the sanctity of the quiet in that kind of studying space. But she seemed fine. She's always just incredibly nice, soft eyes. She's a welcoming presence, and always has been in every encounter I've had with her.
Okay. And in relation to the passing away of Mr. Hemaker, were you out that night, or rather last night? Did you see anyone else suspicious? Anyone in the crowd that seemed strange or out of place? Anything?
No, I mean, aside from the bus ride home, I went back to my apartment and had dinner, went to bed, and then all of the sirens and everything. I'm friends with Penelope. I work with her mother at the school. And so I figured she would be interested in sirens. And then when I went out to try to find her, I saw the same scene that you did, nothing out of the ordinary. And then I've
She
been
is
with you
referring
all ever
to
since.
Penelope Schmalls, who lives in the same apartment block as the Hemekers.
Yes, I actually didn't really realize they were related. But I am worried about Penelope's safety. I do hope that you, in case there's some kind of family targeting or something going on, you take extra care of her.
Yes, well, we're going to take good care of her, and we're going to find out who did this, and to make sure they're put in the slammer where they belong. Do you have anything else you wish to add, Ms. Phillips?
No, I don't believe so. I know there was mention of Anthony being a potential suspicious candidate, and I want to speak on behalf of his character. He's an upstanding man. I understand he has some things maybe going on at home, but he's in earnest a good student trying to get into college, and I think he's a wonderful young man who would not be capable of doing something like this.
Right. Well, we'll work it out with Anthony. I'm sure he's perfectly innocent, so there's nothing to worry about there, Miss Phillips. Thank you for your time. And she will hit the record button, or hit the end recording.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll get you out of here as soon as we can. You can either go with me after I'm done, or you can leave with another officer. I can assign someone to take you home immediately.
Sure, I would like to just wait in the waiting room while Bilkins and Anthony give their statements, and then I'm sure we can find a way to all get home together. I don't know if I feel comfortable going alone.
Okay, I understand.
Thank you.
And we would take our leave of the interrogation room.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold for a moment. Eddie and Penelope, as you pull in at the apartment complex, there are 4 police cars parked out front, lights going. You see Ludlow as he's putting on his protective vest, getting everything snapped in place. There are a total of 8 officers there, including Ludlow. A couple of them have shields. All the rest have weapons drawn as they make their way into the apartment complex. What are you going to do?
I don't want to invalidate our efforts or anything. They look slightly better equipped to deal with this than we do.
Yeah, I know we aren't gonna go in, but if someone I don't know is around or keeping an eye out, we'll be able to find them. If we wait here in the car park, we can keep an eye on the window. If they try and hop out or anything, we can see.
Well, and you just want to watch and see where somebody goes.
Listen, at that point, then maybe we would involve, or I would involve myself. But in the
It doesn't sound
meantime,
like a good idea to me.
I think that we should just keep an eye and make sure they don't take anything or do anything weird in my home.
Sure. All right. I'm just saying, if somebody does come out, rather than you involving yourself, maybe I just follow them in the car and we can tell the cops where they go.
Hmm.
As this conversation goes on, you see one of the officers who went in ushering people out. Neighbors across the hall. Mr. Reed, who's walking out, beer in hand, still dressed in his tidy whities and white t-shirt, as they bring them outside, and none of them seem happy about it.
Why are they doing that?
I have no idea.
And she just looks
Don't
over at
get
Eddie
out.
and like,
Don't get out.
we could
Please don't
ask
get
them
out.
why. They must have given them a reason.
They're not going to be happy to see you here. Ludlow's going to
Yeah.
recognize you from the hospital.
Um. Hmm.
Yeah.
What if I just hopped out really quick and asked them?
What if what if I hop out and ask him for you?
Could you?
Yup.
Okay.
Sure.
Right. Great. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Eddie gets out of the car and goes to ask.
Penelope immediately starts filming the scene.
He kind of mutters to himself, "Oh, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?" Okay. Hey, officers.
Excuse me, sir. You cannot go in here right now.
Oh no, I'm not trying to go in. I'm just kind of wondering what's going on. I live near in the area. Just
Oh,
feeling curious.
then why don't you go home to your place in the area? Thank you.
Listen, I'm not trying to cause trouble. I'm just curious what's going on here. This is the home
Sir,
of some
there are things
friends of
going on
mine.
here right now. I need to keep these people safe. If you would please stop interfering, that would be great.
Sure thing, officer. I'm not trying to interfere. Sorry. But all right. I mean, is everything okay? Are the people okay? I mean,
Sir,
these are some friends of mine.
they're fine. They're going to be fine, sir. If you would just please back away.
Sure. Of course, officer. He goes back to the car and gets in. They're really defensive about something.
Cool, yeah, that's weird. You have a spare jacket or a hat?
A spare jacket and hat?
Yeah.
Why don't you just wear the ones that I've got?
Do they have like your place of work on them, or are they like non-branded?
Oh, they would be branded.
Do you have anything not branded?
At home? Are you wanting to stop by my place?
Hold on.
Hmm?
And she like
I'm
takes
looking
off
at the
her
number of people
glasses.
staring, going,
She takes off her glasses and she tries like tying her hair up and everything.
Wow, who are you? Clark Kent became Superman.
Ha! Very funny.
That's not going to fool anyone.
Screw it then. And then she just grabs her camera and runs out the car.
Penelope, oh, shit.
where are you running to?
She wants to go to the like sneak past and go to the window of her apartment because it's on the ground floor. And she wants to peek through the window and see what's going on.
All right. As you are sneaking, I think we are going to need a presence and stealth out of you, please.
Okay, is there any way I could try and help her by going back out and distracting the cops?
Absolutely.
Yep.
In this case, I will need a presence and socialize from you.
Okay.
And you roll before Penelope rolls.
Okay. Let's see. Presence.
Could I use my specialty of hiding places, like where I can duck away and things?
I don't think where you're at that's applicable.
That's fair, no worries.
So Eddie, when you roll these, I will let you know. Successes will add dice to her pool. If you get no successes and you have failures, they will take dice away from her pool.
Sorry in advance, Amanda.
No worries, no worries.
Okay. I rolled one single success.
All right. You get to add one die to your pool, Penelope.
Oh, no.
I rolled 4 5s, a 3, and a 2.
I'm not even going to bother to roll. As you approach the building, the police officer is looking the other way, but someone says, "Who's that lady over there? What is she doing? If she can go there, why can't I go back to my apartment?" At which he turns around. "Miss, Miss, what do you think you're doing? Get away from there." Where you go? Tell me what you're doing.
She's gonna try and run away, but as she's running, she's gonna try and sneak in the peek in the window.
Oh my god.
I will give you the opportunity to do that, but I'm going to let you know, no rolls. It will end with you being arrested.
Oh, fine. Oh.
It's your choice, but everything has its cost.
I don't know. What if I just do some really cool parkour away?
At this point,
no,
you're
okay,
a good 10.
fine.
You're a good 10 feet from the apartment building. So
no worries then.
Oh,
Fine.
she's sorry, officer. My friend, she's got a little bit of issues. Come on now. Come on back to the car.
Get her under control, sir, and get away from that window.
But I'm chasing the unicorns, mister. They've escaped.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. We'll go.
Do I
see
need
the
to call an
unicorns.
ambulance
We'll
for her?
Unicorns. No, sir. It'll be fine. It happens very occasionally. She needs to take her medication. We'll get her back to home. I'm sorry.
All right, just get away from that window, please.
Of course.
There's burgers in
Don't want
the
anybody
sky.
getting shot.
There are no burgers. Come here. And then he puts his jacket on her. Like he kind of drapes it over, pulls it up to make sure that like Ludlow doesn't recognize her or anything. Starts taking her back to the car. You owe me, just so you know.
Listen, I didn't tell the police that you hit a homeless dude. I
Hit
think we're even.
box. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, I think we're even, my dude.
right,
there's something going on. They said shot.
I'm going to put you guys on hold for a moment and go back to Rebecca. And who is she talking to next?
Whoever volunteered. I assumed Mr. Reed would probably be next, but Mr. Bilkins might as well.
Before you guys come out, so while you were talking to Miss Phillips, I've been kind of coaching Reed, in the lobby.
Mr. Wilkins, I know you're very busy, and I don't want to take up any more of your time than we already have. But since I don't have a lawyer, if they allow you to be present in the room, I would really appreciate that.
If they allow me, I don't mind doing that for you. However, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't know the law as well as some. If they don't allow it, Mr. Reed, listen carefully. You may give your statement. As soon as the questioning turns the way it did yesterday, you remember his tone, the questions he was asking? As soon as it goes back to that kind of questioning, you say nothing else. If you're in there longer than an hour, I will contact an attorney. I'll find one somehow. A lawyer I can call. I'll contact an attorney and have you, but you don't say another word. And after an hour, I'll take care of you. Don't worry about that. Just as soon as the questioning turns, you stay silent.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bilkins. And while I appreciate your offer to call a lawyer, I think they have state-appointed people for that, and I don't want to cause any more trouble than we're already causing for
Yes,
you.
to
So,
represent you in court, they do.
okay, you're right. Maybe I don't know so well, but I just don't want to cause you any more trouble than we're already causing. So I guess just let Dad know if I'm going to be
No
out too
trouble at
long.
all. It's winter break, Mr. Reed. I've papers to grade no longer and just a puppy to walk.
Right. How is the
Keeping you out of jail is my project for the winter.
sorry to take up your time, but
Not
thank
a
you.
problem. Not a problem.
All right, Miss Phillips, if you wouldn't mind taking a seat. Anthony, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes,
Mr. Bilkins, I know you had been speaking about representation. If you need representation, we can provide that for you. But again, this isn't an interrogation. I'm just taking a statement. So it is entirely up to you.
I don't require representation, but if you could give Mr. Reed representation, that would be ideal.
All right. Mr. Reed, if you wouldn't mind coming with me, let me. Rebecca will leave the room for a second. Ask the currently defense person or whomever, current lawyer in the office.
There's nobody present in the office at the moment that is an attorney, but there is someone from Child Protective Services.
Okay, that's
if
good
you
enough.
if you have a child who is being questioned, they can be present.
He's close enough. He still lives at home, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, how old is he?
He's either 17 or 18. So.
No, that's kind of on the edge, but
if you wouldn't mind.
All right. I'll sit in.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anthony, this is going to be your representation. This is
Mr. Billingsley. And he extends his hand to you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
To be clear, you're a minor, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll head back to, if it's still open, interrogation room 3.
All right.
Same stuff. Sit down. Hit record. All right. This is the statement of one Anthony Reed. Lives in the same apartment block as the deceased, and the representation. I'm sorry. She kind of holds her hand out. She forgot the lawyer's name again.
Mark Billingsley, Child Protective Services.
Thank you. And Rebecca Theron, junior detective, will be conducting this interview. Okay, Mr. Reed. So, I want you, in your own words, before I ask any questions, to kind of tell me what's been going on, if you saw anything suspicious, how well you knew Mr. Hemiker and Mrs. Hemiker, whatever information you can give me, okay? In your own words first.
The events of the day, as I recall them, Mr. Hemiker was outside his apartment and he looked very concerned. So I approached him and asked what was going on. He told me that he'd left a gift behind for his wife on the bus, and I decided to take it upon myself to help him. In my eagerness to leave, I hopped on the bus, and he had to call after me to let me know that it was a block of knives. The bus driver was kind enough to call ahead to the other buses and confirm that the bus he had gotten off on hadn't gone very far. We met up with the driver. He said that there was nothing on the bus and that none of the passengers had seen anything, but I was insistent, so I checked with everybody and I asked questions. It didn't go very well. I got yelled at.
Excuse me. Is he pure being questioned because he's a nice guy? What's going on here?
No, he may have had some connection to Mr. Hemiker and he wanted to make a statement. This is not an interrogation.
So he's not under arrest. He's not being questioned.
No, he is.
What do you need representation for?
The last
for his comfort.
Okay, well, no problem. It's just you seem like a stand-up guy so far. I mean, okay. I'll wait for the other shoe.
Yes. Thank you. Please continue.
After I left the bus because of the hostilities of the passengers, I ran into Officer Theron, who was performing her duties as a cop, and I asked if she'd be willing to assist in finding the knife block, and she was willing to. We went to a block of apartments where some I don't know what you'd call them, but they seemed to be up to no good. They were in their apartment, and Miss Theron questioned them, but they were uncooperative. At that point, I received a message from Penelope Schmalz asking what I was doing, and I informed her. She seemed eager to join in to help Mr. Hemiker because, he's a really good guy, or I guess he was.
Reporting Officer Rebecca Theron was on patrol at about 5:30 p.m. Checked in on Reggie about parole and to try and glean any information on a missing knife block. Was unsuccessful and continued with patrol.
And when Miss Schmalz joined us, we went down to one of the local pawn shops. The man there, Mr. Denny, his last name, it started with an M. Yeah, Matthews. He said that he had recently acquired a knife block that he believed to be stolen. Which he turned over to Miss Theron, and we purchased wrapping paper and I think some kind of wooden box to put it in. We wrapped it up and we dropped it off. I guess it couldn't have been any earlier than maybe 7:37 at Mr. Hemiker's home, and everything seemed fine. They were getting ready to have a party, as far as I could tell, and then I went home, and I was woken up because there was lots of noise outside and lights. And when I went to look, well, that's when I found out everything had happened.
You're referring to the knife block evidence, I think 6 and 7. Currently missing 2 knives, possible murder weapon. We are unsure at this moment. So, Mr. Reed, that was the last time you saw Mr. and Mrs. Hemiker, is when myself, you, and Miss Smalls returned that gift to them.
Well, no. I saw
No?
Miss Hemiker when she was being pulled out on the stretcher, but it was the last time I had seen them well.
Of course. And between when you saw Miss Hemiker on the stretcher and when we had returned those knives, did you hear anything, see anything, talk to anyone in the area who might have been suspicious, who might have seemed out of place? Any loud noises, screams, bangs?
No, I wish I had more information, but that's all I remember, and it was, it's winter break, so I guess I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on outside at all.
Enough. Did you know Mr. and Mrs. Hemiker well?
Yes, I did. Mr. Hemiker helped me to work on the bot that I use for combat, and he he was always a very generous and kind man. Anytime I needed help working on a project, he was more than happy to help me. And his wife worked at the library, and there's so many good resources there, and she was always so helpful. She knew where every book was. She didn't even need to check the system. I mean,
I know. Miss Hemiker definitely seems like a very nice woman. Is there any other information on this you can give us? Did your father say anything? Any information that you might have gotten, that he might have gotten, that he might have seen?
I don't think he did. I haven't really talked to him about the situation, but I don't think he would know anything. No.
We did have a run-in with his father on the way to make sure he got his statement in. The father seemed intoxicated, unlikely he would know anything or have realized anything, but may follow up on it. Okay. And so there was there anything else you would like to tell me, or anything you might suspect? The knife lock itself, I believe, was full when we returned it to Mr. Hemiker. It was in plastic wrap. So you didn't see, when you were outside the police barricade, you did not see anyone who looked strange, out of place, suspicious?
No, like I said, I wish I had more information, but that's really all I know. Sorry.
Okay. All right, Mr. Reed, I think we're just about done taking this statement. Thank you very much for sitting in as Mr. Reed's representation. And we will release a statement to the press hopefully soon. So,
When you
Thank you, Mr.
finish, Mr. Billings writes a couple more notes and then looks up and, let me make sure I have this correct in my notes here. You were on patrol and you took 2 civilians along with you into an area where a suspected criminal would be. Is that correct?
no, that is incorrect. We did take them to somebody who was on parole. They simply wished to accompany me, and being that person was on parole and not no longer
were you
threat.
on official police duty at the time? Were you on the clock, officer?
I was, yes.
Mr. Reed, would you like to file a complaint against Officer Theron for involving you in a dangerous situation?
No, sir, not at the moment. I was following Miss Theron, trying to add something to my college transcript so that I could hopefully get into a better school.
No.
Sorry.
I would recommend being cautious. Police officers often get into dangerous situations, and they should not be taking minor civilians with them into that situation. Officer Theron, I don't normally work in this precinct, but this is the first time I have seen something so egregiously foolish done by an officer as to take a minor into a suspected crime area.
Yes, that was rather foolish.
Well,
I will go
we're
ahead
just-
and I assume you will file for disciplinary action. And
Mr. Reed has no complaint. Unfortunately, it turned out well this time, but I will keep it in my notes. And he reaches
I
inside
understand.
his coat pocket and pulls out a bear-shaped lollipop and hands it to Mr. Reed and says, I usually deal with smaller children, but you might like one anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Billings. I appreciate it, and thank you for your time. Sorry to have bothered you.
Thank you, Mr.
And with that,
Billingsley.
he will excuse himself.
And we will leave the interrogation room after ending the recording. Oh, God. Okay, let's...
I didn't get you in trouble, did I?
No, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I just wanted to make sure nothing was left out. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
No, it's okay. I appreciate your help with everything. And should it go into anything, we can simply say that we were mistaken. You are not a minor. So.
Right, of course.
All right, after you.
Right, I'm going to cut back to the apartment complex where you guys have been sitting, and it's been a good 20 minutes while all this has gone on. And you see all the police officers exiting the building. The shields are kind of, on their back now. Their weapons are holstered. And a couple of them are shaking their head as they step outside. And
Looks like everything's okay.
then they start allowing people back inside.
Well, let's go back in then, I guess.
You want to go check it out?
Yeah. On
Now
the way
it's
in.
sorry,
go on.
it's been 20 minutes that we've been sitting here. How long has it been since how much lives on my timer of the 2 hours that we were given?
Probably about half an hour's burn plus drive time. So let's say 45 minutes.
Cool.
We got loads of time. On the way out of the car, Penelope would attempt to approach the police officer, not the one that spotted her, the different one.
Okay.
And just ask, excuse me, what happened?
Who are you? Ludlow looks over and goes, "Oh, what? Miss Smalls? You are
Yes,
supposed to
sorry.
be giving a statement. What are you doing here?"
Oh no, I know. We got a little bit lost, and I came back here because I had some evidence I wanted to pick up before going to the police station. But I was unable to get in my apartment for some reason. Oh, how odd.
He looks over at Eddie. I hope she at least agreed to go out with you if she's getting you to do things like this.
No luck yet.
No. We didn't find anything, Mrs.
joke.
Smalls. The front door was locked. I'm afraid we had to damage the front door. We'll have a locksmith out to come take a look at it, and they'll probably end up replacing the front door. What were we expected to find? What made you think someone was inside the apartment?
Someone had logged in using my computer that is in my home.
Is this the computer in the back bedroom?
Yes.
It's just a computer, and your teddy bear's where you left it, sitting in the chair.
Thank you, officer. Okay. Is an officer going to stay to make sure no one breaks in?
Yes. But we'll have somebody here, and oh man, I gotta get some rest. We'll have somebody here until the front door is repaired. We're not going to leave you like that.
Okay, thank you. I will go in and grab what I need for the station. Eddie, would you come with me?
Oh, okay. Sure. I guess I'm come this far.
Officer Williams, would you mind accompanying them and making sure that they stay safe?
Thanks for the chaperone, officer.
When we get in, I asked the police officer, are you able to wait in the living room area? You're welcome.
Oh, trust me,
help
I'm going to
yourself
stay right out here in the hallway. Just try not to be too loud, okay?
Come on.
Officer, that's really inappropriate. I want you to know that.
Sorry, ma'am.
And she goes bright red and just huffs into the apartment.
Follow
Okay.
along. So, out of curiosity, why are you bringing the pizza guy along?
Okay, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hear me out. And she's like looking around at like
There's-
everything. No one has been here. The door was locked until the police came in. That bear was not on my chair at my computer. That bear was not originally on my pillow. It has been moved. There is someone either hiding in this apartment, and I know you're here, or someone's messing with me, and I don't know what it is.
Or maybe the bear got up and walked.
Ha ha ha! Very funny. And she actually picks it up and begins like bending its limbs to make sure there's no like robotics in it, like to like humor it essentially.
Well, are you already back in the room? Because I thought you hadn't walked into the room yet. You said you walked into the apartment.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm on my way then to the room. So
Okay.
I aim
As
to
you-
when I get in there.
As you get past the living room and you turn the corner towards the room, you know, give me a wits and composure, please.
It's okay.
And you can do one as well, Eddie, if you'd like to.
Okay, sure. What's composure? That's pretty good, actually.
No successes and a 1. So
That
2, 3, and
is a
that's a
failure.
reroll. I got 4 successes.
oh, good for you.
Sorry. As you're walking down the corner, Penelope is almost walking backwards as she's talking and explaining to you why she's got the pizza guy with her. And down the hall, you just see a sliver of light in the doorway disappear, and you hear the click as a door closes.
Did you hear that?
Did I hear it?
No, you did not. Not with a 1.
No, what are you talking about? Anyways, as I was saying, it's weird, right?
Can I have a sec? Just a sec. Sorry, I'll be right back. I just want to. Eddie goes and opens the door.
And it's Penelope's room. As you open the door, she sees you opening the door to her room.
Excuse me.
Look, just a sec. Just humor me, all right? I humored you. You humor me, all right?
As you take a look inside the door, you see the computer set up. You see the bed. And sitting on the pillow of her bed is a panda teddy bear. And there are a few other stuffed items. And,
Can I?
Penelope would have to tell you what else is around the room, but I think that's a fair enough description for now.
Just normal stuff. Totally normal stuff.
May I roll eye for the strange?
Yes, you may.
Let's see. Intelligence and composure. I believe that is. All right.
Kicks feet in the hallway, like.
Ooh. That is again 4 successes.
Wow. You walk into the room and it feels off for a moment. You look around the first thing you notice is the computer is logged in, but all the windows are minimized. And the picture that's on the desktop is a picture of the panda. And knowing how she felt about it, that seems a little bit odd. And then you notice all of the other stuffed animals that she has. There's a pile of them in the trash can. Looks like something like tried to press them down into it.
Eddie's going to close the door and go talk to Penelope again. Look, this is going to sound like a weird question. Did you throw all of your other stuffed animals away?
No. They're not gone, are they?
No, they're thrown away in the trash can.
Haha, very funny. And she goes to walk past him to open the door.
He stops her. I have a really weird feeling about that room right now. When did you get that panda?
After you dropped me off, we went on like a little adventure, and we wound up finding this pawn shop that they said they had a set of knives that were dropped in that they thought were suspicious. And we were looking for knives. Mr. Hemiko he lost his. He left them on the bus, and we went in, and the guy said that it fit me, and he just gave me a panda bear. I think he was just trying to smooth over the police officer.
Huh.
Listen,
Look, there's a picture of that panda on your computer too.
Okay.
It's your desktop wallpaper.
Look, I don't appreciate you making fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you, all right?
Then why won't you let me in?
Look, can you listen to me for a second? I'm going to tell you something kind of personal, but sorry, this is just, look, when I was a kid, my brother kind of disappeared. And whenever I used to look around for stuff about him, I would get this weird feeling in the back of my mind. I kind of feel that way right now. It's always when something weird's going on. I don't really know how to explain it.
I'm sorry to hear about your brother, but I will admit everything that's going on right now is weird, so I think
It's very
your
weird.
feeling is understandable, but I really can't do anything until I go in that room and see what's going on.
You hear a noise from the other side of the door, kind of like something fell over on the desk.
Okay.
What if we just change our names, move, and forget all about this house?
You go get the officer. I'm gonna grab a weapon.
And I'm going to leave you here alone to go into the room with the weapon.
No. I will grab the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You grab the police officer. Why are we wasting time?
Sure. Okay. He'll go get the police officer.
I go get a butcher knife from the kitchen.
Okay.
Hey, officer, we heard a weird noise from the room. Are you sure you don't want to take another look?
All right. And he he sees Penelope with the knife. And he goes, "Miss, put that down."
There's something in there.
He has his hand on his firearm. He goes, "Put the knife down. I don't want you stabbing me on accident. Okay, stay behind me." What room?
Her room. My bedroom.
He makes his way down the hall. As he gets to the door, he draws his weapon. gets to the side of the door, turns the handle, and kicks it open. All right, don't move. All right, ma'am, I think I got him.
You got him?
Yeah.
Well, arrest him then.
He holsters his gun and goes down. I don't want any trouble out of you. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, and you just goes through the whole spiel. You hear the clicking of the handcuffs. And a moment later, he comes walking out with a panda bear in handcuffs.
Ah, thank God you did it, officer.
Okay, are you two done playing around now? He takes the handcuffs off and puts them back away. And look.
No, you know what, officer? Please take that bear away. Please actually arrest it. Please take it away. Because it's freaking me out. Please arrest it. Take it away.
He takes it.
Put it in evidence.
He places it into your hands. Ma'am, I can't take any property from your thing. And I'm sorry, there's nothing in there. We looked under the bed. We checked the closet. There's nothing in there. And why don't you, I mean, if you like the thing enough to put its picture on your desktop, why do you want to get rid of it?
Told you.
And she just like storms into the room.
And in the room, the first thing you notice is that your microphone has been knocked over.
Expensive mic, but that's fine. She's like saying loudly to the police officer to hear because she thinks you knocked it over. She picks it back up and puts it on the table.
Okay. And as you do this, you catch a glimpse of the desktop. And there's the panda looking back at you. And underneath it is a line of text that says, "Love me."
Eddie, if this is a weird way of asking me out, I'm really not feeling it.
Nope. What are you talking about?
She like ushers him in. Just points to the text.
With a 4 that you had on your previous roll, you did not see that text there a few minutes ago.
Oh.
That's new.
Are all my toys in the trash?
Yes. Anything that's a stuffed animal that would qualify as a stuffed toy is in the trash. Except for your other teddy bear, which you still haven't found.
I want to give more thought to that whole changing our names thing.
You know what? I would honestly take you up on that if it wasn't that there was probably a murder investigation going on, and that would look really suspicious.
So where's the panda at this point? Are you still carrying it? Or?
She's holding it at this moment.
Okay.
Yeah. She's just gonna be like, "Hey, listen, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
This is some prank show. I'm gonna be very upset. But I'm gonna need you to not judge me for a minute."
No judgment. Judgment-free zone.
She grabs the panda bear and sets it on her desk. Just says, "If you want love, then you can't do this." And she slowly picks up her toys out the bin, starts putting on the bed. At the bin, and she's like keeps looking over at it like to see if it does anything. Don't laugh at me.
Judgment free. Judgment free.
Listen. And she just keeps taking them out the trash and putting them on the bed.
Okay.
If you want love, be nice to my other friends. Okay. And then once she's got them all out of the bin and puts them on the bed, she's then going to actually look at the computer and see if anything else is different. I know you said there was minimized windows. Obviously, she didn't know that, but if there's anything minimized, she's going to open it.
Well, there is a window to your blog that has that last blog post.
Mm-hmm.
about the police and having found the killer. The normal stuff you would have on your desktop. It's all just been minimized. One thing's unusual. Normally you have a stack of unread mail in your mailbox, but it looks like all the messages have been read recently.
Are any like thrown away, or are they just been opened?
No, they've just been read. If you'd like to investigate further on your machine, I am going to need a Whitson investigation from you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, please.
All right, while you're rolling that, I'm going to go back to the police station for a moment.
Yeah, go for it.
And Rebecca had escorted Mr. Reed back into the waiting room. And just as she's about to say something, Ryland steps in the door and looking at you, he can't see into the waiting room. He says, you have the contact information for that Bilkins guy, right?
In fact, I've got Mr. Vilkins, so.
Really? Now, we'd like to talk to him for just a moment.
Mr. Vilkins, it appears you've been called by the head deputy.
Well, I have written down everything that I care to share as far as a statement goes. I won't be answering any questions. I've signed this piece of paper here, and you can take this as my information.
Well, Mr. Bilkins, I'm sorry, but I've got to ask, are you the same Alexander Bilkins that wrote the paper on medieval cults and rituals?
As I said, all the information I care to share or answer is on this statement that I've written and prepared for you.
Mr. Bilkins, is this your paper?
Yes, I wrote that paper. Yes.
Excellent. Could you come along with us for a moment? I promise, no trouble, no issues. You don't need an attorney. I just have a question I'd like to ask you.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Bilkins. If you
Very
would,
well.
we can get you representation, but it'll take a bit.
I don't need representation. All right, I'll go with you.
Okay. Here, we'll go in this room 3 here. Officer Theron, please shut the door.
Yeah, of course.
From the other side.
Of course.
Mr. Bilkins, our research shows that you are basically an expert on ancient cults and rituals. And I've got some pictures here. They're a little disturbing, but I'd really like for you to take a look at them and see if it brings up anything from your knowledge.
I'm still operating, you understand, with zero information beyond what I've gathered from context clues and everything. If you could fill me in on just the raw details, I might be more assistance to you.
And he takes and starts laying out pictures. Mr. Bilkins, Mr. Hemaker was killed. And from what we're seeing here, a couple of experts have looked at it and think that it might be a ritual killing. And knowing that you have some familiarity with these things, I'd just like to get your opinion. Now, I'm going to have to ask you, this information does not leave this room, but looking at any of these scenes, does any of this fit with things you've seen?
I'll look over the pictures carefully, and
Okay.
I assume you want me to roll for this.
Yeah, I think I do, and I think we'll go with intelligence and academics on this one.
Okay. Can I use my specialization here?
Which specialization is that, sir?
The cult history one for.
Oh,
academics.
absolutely. That is perfect for this.
What did you say? Intelligence and academics?
Yes, sir. And then you get an extra die for your specialization. So 8s, 9s, and 10s are successes. If you roll a 10, you re-roll it.
Okay.
If you get no successes and you get a 1, well then, or more than 1,
I got 110. I've rolled 11 dice. I got one success.
Okay, re-roll that 10. Re-roll that 10.
I did, and I got a 5.
Okay, so 1 success. All right.
Yeah.
You look these things over, and you can see where they probably got this idea. And this will all be information that you can look at later because it's going to be something that'll be in your mind. You've seen these pictures now.
Mhm.
There's swirls. There's a big pool of blood lying next to a body, which you assume is Mr. Hemiker. And as you look down at it, you notice these swirl patterns in it. And if you look at them at the right angle, you could probably get the impression they're some kind of a Celtic design, but nah, they don't match up with that. But it's definitely, there are definitely patterns in the blood, but they're not really meaning anything special to you. You know a lot about ritual sacrifice, and what you're seeing here, it doesn't look like it to you. There's nothing surgical about it. There's nothing precise about it. So it makes no sense the way that the cuts are done. It just doesn't follow with any precision. There's no writings, no markings. That's what you see. Now it's up to you what you tell Detective Ryland.
Interesting. It doesn't. I'm not familiar with anything from my research that looks like this, but could be modern. I wouldn't rule it out as a possibility. Do you have information on any kind of cults in the area or any rituals that have been done like this? Do you have any background research or similar sort of killings in other precincts?
No, the only thing we found that was in any way similar to this was a woman who was a young mother who was abducted a few years ago. And sadly, she was killed and her body was found in a warehouse.
You saw these symbols similarly?
There was a blood pattern and similar. It wasn't exactly the shape, but it was definitely similar that something had been in it.
As you know, I am an expert in this area. My specialty is in ancient cult and rituals, but the investigation process is the same. If you have that file for the other case, I would love to take a look at it, if possible.
All right. Well, I'll do this. And he starts picking up things and he goes, I appreciate your time and I will be in touch with you as soon as we get some of this together. I would love to have your input on that. I guess school's out. Are you busy most days? Or if we come in Monday, would you possibly be able to come in on Monday?
I could start working on this right away. If you have a file that I could take a look at or a folder, I would start researching.
I'm going to have to
at
talk
once.
to the chief, and there will have to be a non-disclosure agreement signed if you're going to have
course.
access to these records, of course. And until that time, I'm hoping I can count on your discretion.
Yes, of course.
And he puts out his hand and goes, Mr. Bilkins, thank you very much. And I'm sure we'll come up with some kind of agreement for your rate to make it worth your time. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Detective Rilton. Rilton?
Ryland.
Ah, Ryland, yes.
And with that, he will open the door. Rebecca, where are you at?
I would have been probably pretty near the door, just
Okay.
kind of leaned over with some notation in my hand. All
All right.
right.
I think we're done with Mr. Bilkins. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Vilkins.
All right. Anything from Miss Hemmicker? How's she doing?
She is still in catatonia. She was apparently sedated. And when she was sedated, she said something. She said, Mr. Stapika, or something of that nature.
How do you spell that?
I don't know. I put Stapeeko.
Okay. I've never heard anything like that. I'll run a search on it. We'll see if we can find anything in the FBI database.
Rylan, she Miss Schmalls apparently she was in the room when we were talking to Wayland. Apparently Miss Schmalls knows that name as the name of Miss Hemicker's stuffed animal when she was young. So that's strange.
It's the name of a stuffed animal that
yes.
He rips it out of his page, wads it up, and throws it in the trash. Okay, well, I think we'll just hold off on spending research money on that one. So.
Yeah. Okay. And I believe we just need to interview Mr. Schmaltz, and that'll be it.
All right. Very good.
All right.
And with that, I am going to say that'll close the table for this evening.
Yeah.
So, thank you, all players. This is chapter 2. What we normally do at the end of sessions is hand out beats for experience. And some of you are new players in this. You get beats, you add up the beats, they turn into experience, and you are able to spend them on stuff. And I have posted a list of what beats can be spent on. I'll provide that again if anybody needs it, but it can also be used to repurchase willpower and things like that anytime during the game. So there's something you want to accumulate, turn into XP to advance your character, or use to refill your buckets as the buckets get low. So for last session, everyone gets a beat. For this session, everyone gets a beat. And I'm going to leave the stream going for about 5 to 10 minutes after we close today. Viewers, please cast a vote for who you think deserves an extra beat. I'm going to put 2 beats out there, and I tend to recommend categories such as excellent roleplay, carrying the story forward, or wow, that was just amazing. So please cast your votes for that. I will tally them up at the end, and we will distribute those and announce it next time. So, all right, everyone, thank you for playing. I love having you at the table. I love the RP tonight. I'm just sitting here going,
right,
watching. So that was very excellent. Don't forget, tomorrow night, if you're interested, we have Haunted Chronicles: The Black Death Chronicle. It's been running for over a year. They have found themselves now, they are from 1348 London during the plague, and they have found themselves now in 200 BC China and trying to figure out what they're going to do while they're there. So, and with that, anyone have anything they would like to say? Yes. Chops.
So I'd like to say the same thing that I like to say at the end of all of our sessions, if possible.
Yep.
Basically, your mental health is a very serious thing, people. There's a lot of things going on out in the world. There's a lot of things that can get to you. And even when that stuff's not going on, it can be a hard time. So please don't forget to reach out to your friends and family. They might not know what's going on with you, and you're absolutely right. They might not relate to it 100%, but they're very willing to hear it. Your friends, your family, they want to hear what's going on a lot more than they want to hear something bad has happened to you. So please don't hesitate to reach out to anybody here, any of your friends or family, anybody on the Discord servers. Please reach out to somebody. Don't go through things alone. It's very easy to get the idea that that's how things need to be, but it really doesn't need to be.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chops. Love y'all. Again, Haunted Chronicles, The Black Death, tomorrow night on McStabber Studios. Hope we'll see you there. And again, I'm going to leave the stream going for a bit so that people can vote. Thank you very much. See you next week.